Hey, this is Steve with Real-Time Music Solutions, and today we're going to discuss how to get your MIDI keyboard working with RMS keyboards. If you already use a MIDI keyboard with other music apps on your computer, much of this information will be common knowledge to you. Essentially, RMS Keyboards is a plug-and-play situation. Your physical keyboard plugs into your computer via USB, and sound flows either out of your computer's speakers, headphone jack, or an external audio interface if you own one. But if you've never used a MIDI keyboard with your computer before, there are some things you need to do to get set up. First, look at your keyboard, and most importantly, the back of your keyboard, where all the cable ports live. Keyboards manufactured in the past 25 years or so have a USB port. This is how you'll plug your computer into your keyboard, just like a printer or any other peripheral. If your keyboard doesn't have a USB port, it should have these rounded MIDI ports. To use these with your computer, you would need to buy a MIDI to USB cable, like this. You then plug the round cables into the MIDI ports and the USB end into your computer. If while testing you're not getting a signal, you may need to flip the rounded MIDI cables or look into if this MIDI to USB cable has its own driver that you need to install on the machine. To be clear, if straight up USB is an option, this is the route we recommend, as it ultimately means less gear in your setup, thus less things that can go wrong. Now that the keyboard is plugged into the computer, make sure the keyboard is powered on. Before we open up RMS Keyboards, let's download the free software program MIDI View. In your search engine of choice, search the word MIDI View. Click the first link from Haute Technique. Click Download MIDI View now, it's free. Scroll down. Download for Mac if you're on Mac, download for Windows if you're on Windows. After downloading, go ahead and open it up. It's possible MIDI View has already recognized your keyboard. As you can see here in the drop-down at the center of the window, MIDI View is seeing my AKM 320 keyboard without issue. If I hit a key while looking at MIDI View, we see that two messages appear in the box, Note On and Note Off. This is what we're looking for. If you're seeing this, there's no reason you can't open up RMS Keyboards and get rolling. If you don't see your keyboard immediately in the drop-down, click it and see if it is listed, and then select it. Then hit a key to test like we just did. If it's not listed, that means you may need to configure certain settings on your physical keyboard to allow MIDI to flow. Unfortunately, all keyboards are different. This is where you may need to consult your manual. Luckily, in the modern era, finding manuals is fairly painless. Again, go to your search engine of choice, search the maker, I'll say Yamaha just for an example, the model, again, as an example, is CP33, and the word manual. The first link should probably bring you to the specific manual for your specific keyboard. Go ahead and click it, download it, and start consulting. Typically, the settings you need to flip in your keyboard are to do with sending MIDI over USB rather than the MIDI ports themselves. Depending on the keyboard, you may also need to install a MIDI driver created by that keyboard manufacturer. This allows the keyboard to interface with the computer via MIDI. Most modern keyboards are class compliant these days, and no drivers are necessary. Or the drivers are auto-downloaded the first time you plug it into your computer. Regardless, this process can be finicky depending on the make and model. The best thing to do is look over the manual. Sometimes you can Google the make and model of the keyboard and the word MIDI and find people discussing and solving these issues on online forums. Once you have MIDI flowing into MIDI View, you can close out MIDI View and open up our software, RMS Keyboards. After loading up your show, if you're not immediately presented with the setup wizard, we can find it here under Tools. Go ahead and click Next. And now we can connect your physical keyboard to the keyboard part you wish to control in the software. I'm using the AKM 320, so I would click it, drag over to whichever part I would like to control. Or if I'm controlling both parts and going between them, I can do that as well. Then click Next. This is in regards to hotkeys, how to change patches while you're playing the show. We can discuss this in another video or FAQ. Click next. And go ahead and select your audio driver choice. Typically, this will be the built-in output, whether you're on Mac or Windows, your built-in speakers or headphone jack. Or if you're using an external audio interface, you would select that, like my Mbox Studio here. For the purposes of this video, I'm using the Telestream audio capture so that you can hear what I play. Setup is now complete. Finish. Here we are back in RMS Keyboards, and as you can see in the Keyboard 1 window, my AKM 320 is assigned. When I strike a key, we'll hear a sound. We see feedback in the output mixer as I play, and we even see the keys depress on the virtual keyboard as I strike them. And now we're ready to go. Note that a good habit to keep up with is plugging all of your gear into the computer before opening RMS Keyboards. So the process is turn on your computer, plug in and power on your keyboard and your external audio interface if using one, then open up RMS Keyboards. You shouldn't have to reassign any of your keyboards or audio settings provided you keep to this methodology. One more tip. When you're done using the software, quit out properly. Don't just close your laptop. Don't just turn off the computer. Quit. This has been Steve with Real Time Music Solutions. Thanks for watching.